breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page lies, it's about to be. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend, Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide.
All right, we are live. There's our new jam. We will play Back in the Cone again, and it rolls down. Voila. So yeah, we'll mix the songs up. That was an awesome song. That's my drinking song. That one's badass. Andy Simmons wrote that. He also wrote that Johnny Cash parody song. So we'll play Back in the Cone again. We're probably going to get a cone today. We're going to get a potential tropical cyclone because of this Bahama mess. Okay, if you've been watching my page this morning, actually yesterday, kind of putting the theme out, we got to watch this thing in real time because the models this year have been terrible for initializing tropical development. I think we got to go back to using a little bit of, gut feeling, common sense guessing. But we got clumps of clouds and a big blob. Pressures are lowering in the Bahamas, and the NHC basically is saying we're going to probably have a potential tropical cyclone, which means we'll have a cone somewhere. So there you go. All right, we're going to read your comments. All right, real quick. All right, so I don't want to do the same thing every week, but I'm Mike. I'm an amateur. I'm a media... They call me a media-lologist or something like that. NHC is always your official forecast. Don't listen to me for anything other than entertainment. I have to say that now. But we all know that, right? Big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. They're our Facebook Live sponsor this year. They're located here in sunny Florida. Not so sunny this weekend. Another reason to go buy drinks. Buy more hurricane snacks. Peanuts. I still have a few more M&Ms left over from Dorian. Not very many because Sarah's found them. She left me some today. I got a few left. The peanuts suck. They're only they're lightly salted nuts. Yuck. So anyway, check out ABC. We love them. We love Sparks Energy and all our great little supporters on our webpage. So, all right. So what's going on? Well, I showed you this morning. We had a big shift in the models. Here's your official NHC, and I'm going to talk about 15 minutes. We got two things to talk about. Lots of things to talk about. I try to keep everything condensed to about 15, 20 minutes. And then I'll read questions if I can. Hey, Donald, what's up? And then we'll get more goofy and everything else. So, all right, so here's the scoop. We got two areas. This little guy we've been talking about for a long time, up to 40%. This is the one that's expected to cruise along Lesser Antilles this weekend. Be something to possibly watch next week right here. We're going to show you that. Models, again, are all over the place. But the NHC official cone has it going over Lesser Antilles. Little area to watch. It's this little guy right here on the bottom right of your screen with a little bit of thunder and lightnings at. This is old Invest 94. Remember we showed like a week ago that this was going to hit a brick wall, and it has right in front of the Lesser Antilles. That's played out to a T. This little guy is going to come up, suck it up, merge into one system, and then possibly develop here next week. So that's that one. This is the one we're talking about. This is the one we're worried about. Everybody's talking about. Let's leave this up here. The latest NHC. I know I don't want to click too fast. All right. So here you go. Latest NHC, 80%. Conditions are becoming favorable. Pressures are dropping. Potential tropical cyclone likely today. Heavy rain for the Bahamas and Florida. And Air Force Hurricane Hunters are heading out. So what does that mean? Here's the latest spaghetti models. These guys just came out literally 15 minutes ago. These are on Levi's site. This is Tropical Tidbits. These spaghetti models just came out. Let's take a look at them. Here you go. This is where they're guessing that the center of the system is. This is what's important right now, because when you see all this convection firing up right here, they're pretty much guessing where the center of circulation is. And the models initialize their spaghetti models right here. If the center relocates like we saw with Dorian and all of a sudden the Virgin Islands were in play, then that changes all these models. So, it's a big guessing game right now. I think the center is actually trying to form a little lower. If you look at the 850, 500 millibars we're going to show you. But anyway, here's the latest spaghetti. General trend northwest. The big change overnight is that a lot of the models are keeping it right off the east coast of Florida. The GFS is really the only one now crossing the state. The Euro made a big switch overnight. Interesting, but you can see this is a potential 2 days out. This thing's still a slow mover. Things have changed. I hate it. I wish I was a fortune teller, but I just show you guys what's happening as they happen. And this has been a tricky little guy. And maybe Florida rains will be spared. I was going to show all the rain forecasts based on plots, but let's look at individual models. That's what everybody likes to see. These are your latest spaghetti. 48 hours, you can see timestamps on Levi's site, 24, 48. So 48 hours it's expected to be still hanging out. That's a big change from this week. All right, so let's look at all the individual models. Let's look at the Euro. This is Tropical Tidbits. The reason we use Tropical Tidbits so much is he was one of the first guys to have free graphics online, and he's a cool dude. So anyway, here you go. Here's the Euro. This is what the Euro thinks. Big change, right? Here's what happens. This is going in time. This is today. This is tonight over the Bahamas. Luckily, it's weak. However, rain. Nearing Florida Saturday night, Saturday afternoon. 991, deepening hurricane, or not a hurricane, deepening tropical system. Don't want to say the H word. But 991, borderline strong tropical storm hurricane. This is Sunday. There's Monday, definitely strong now, 978. Here's our next system down here, Lesser Antilles, Monday, Tuesday. We've been talking about this one too. And the Euro strengthens it over the warm Gulf Stream, blocking high pressure. Here's our next system. Goes up close to Carolinas, 957. That's definitely a hurricane. And potentially goes up into the East Coast, blocking high pressure. Here's our next system. Almost the exact same path. I put that on Twitter last night. Wherever Invest 95 goes, it seems like our African wave is going to follow. And this would be bad news. So we don't want to predict that far out. But that's a general trend we've been seeing. This is next Tuesday. This week. Next Tuesday, 4 days from now. Possible system off the East Coast. Possible African wave developing past the Lesser Antilles. Staying south, curving up, blocking high pressure. And there you go. So that's the latest Euro, kind of a big switch. Let's take a look at the latest CMC, because it's been almost the exact same thing. Here you go, CMC. You can just follow along, same general idea. This is Saturday morning, tomorrow. and it takes it right along the coast. Weaker system, 1,002 millibars, and too bad 997. Starts to develop it a little bit, kind of stalls it out. This is next Tuesday. And here's our system down here, kind of like a general low pressure area next Thursday, Friday. So you can see both. The reason it's important to show two models showing exactly the same thing is you have consistency. And the CMC and Euro have been pretty consistent on the same timing. This is next Monday, passing the Lesser Antilles over the weekend, weaker system. And here we go, possibility hugging that Gulf Stream. And this is into next week. So two models now showing possible East Coast trouble. This is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Sunday of next week. I put that on Facebook earlier today. Let's go back and look real quick. And it is important to note that the GFS is the outlier, and the GFS still shows. And I'll show you some ensembles too. This isn't locked in stone or anything, but here is what I posted this morning. These are your this is your Icon model, which is this one model. Look at CMC, the UK model, which we'll show you that, and then the Euro. So 4 models showing the same general idea. That's why it's important to note East Coast, pay attention. All right, it's crazy to think that, but that's the way it goes in the tropics, right? But now we can look at ensembles here. These are good to look at. These are on weathernerds.org. It's kind of hard to see when you look at the 10. This is crazy, but when you look at the 10-day Euro ensembles, it's starting to show our African wave. That's why you see all these additional lines down here. These are actually the African wave ensembles. So luckily on his site, weathernerds.org, they have 5-day ensembles, and there you go. So the Euro unanimously keeps this thing off the East Coast, or right on the East Coast. And you can see it starts to strengthen it over the Gulf Stream. This is Invest 95. The GFS, still the only one pretty much keeping this path northwest. That's why the NHC has their cone wide, and they have to include that. I showed yesterday that the UK model was the outlier, but the UK was the only one showing this East Coast pull to the north. And the reason being, I was looking at it before I went live, and it's really simple to see. If you look at what's going on basically on the upper dynamics here currently, right now. So currently, we have a high pressure system over Florida. Our system is down here in the Bahamas, and there's really nowhere to go. It can't go any farther west. So it's going to get pulled to the north because there's a little weakness. And as we go in time, there's a little weakness to the north. And you'll start to see our system develop right here. And as we go in time, high pressure builds back in to the east, high pressure kind of to the west, and it just has like one path to escape. So it's making sense what the models are showing. It's just very complex because there's that weakness right here that we're seeing, and it pulls it to it. Then we have a blocking high come back in, and guess what? It shoves it back into the East Coast. Like we talk about all year, these fronts are creating weaknesses in the atmosphere, and they allow our systems to get pulled towards these little weaknesses. And these highs race in behind, and that's what happened with Dorian. We had a high pressure block it, sent it into the Bahamas, and then we had a high to the west that stopped it, and a high to the east which stopped it, a high to the north that stopped it and had nowhere to go. And it's been a really tricky year with these high pressures. But what you don't want to see is what's the Euro showing is high pressure building back in, blocking it, kind of like Hurricane Sandy, and shoving it back into the East Coast. So that's a new scenario that wasn't even talked about yesterday. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wish it was easy. It's not. Then let's show you the UK real quick, because the UK, the first one to pick. Every tropical system seems like you get a model that sniffs it out early, and the UK so far has been that one model. The UK sucked with Barry. It had that westward trend into Texas. The UK also had Dorian going westward more into Florida. So the UK yesterday was the opposite. Everybody was going west. The UK went to the east. And here's what the latest UK shows. And you can see development and keeps it right along the Gulf Stream. getting awfully close to Carolinas, and then it does go out to sea. So that would be a good scenario. But there you go. That's what we're watching. The trend has shifted eastward. And what does that mean for rain? All right, so here you go. I wanted to load some rain maps up real quick. All right, so if the Euro is right, everybody in Florida wants to know about rain. Obviously, the Bahamas are going to get rain. They're getting this sloppy system. It's all over the place right now. There you go. Unfortunately, it's probably going to bring rain to western Bahamas and areas hit by Dorian. But as far as Florida goes, this is what the Euro. And if the Euro is correct, this is going into Saturday morning right here. This is Saturday at 7 a.m. Look at that. This is Sunday at 7 a.m. So I got people emailing me that live in Tampa and stuff. Guess what? If this thing shifts to the east, most of that rain is going to stay to the east because there's still some shear. And look, most of your systems are easterly weighted, so that means most of the rain, if the Euro is correct, guess what? Florida gets nothing. Well, something, but not a lot. Look at that big blob of rain. Look at that. Oof. So as far as rain forecasts go, if you're not wanting rain in Florida, root for the Euro. Look at that. A little bit of trickling in here, but it's very interesting. Okay, now let's look at, this is the GFS. The GFS is the only one showing that straight across motion. So here you go. This is Saturday 7, Sunday at 7. You can kind of see it's just sloppy. Keeps it, I don't know. I think the GFS is really messed up. But you'll see, if the GFS is correct, we'll have spotty rains. This is all Saturday, Sunday right here. So you just don't know where the rains are going to fall. That's because of that northwest motion. And then if we look at the actual forecast from NOAA's forecast, this is Saturday morning. It's kind of doing that crossover, and then the rain's pulled northward. So the threat of rain, this is Sunday at 7 a.m. So the threat of rain is there, Florida, but I'm telling you what, if this thing trends to the east, then the rain threat's lower. And that's the short term. Right? Okay. So Invest 94 is nothing now. It died. We're watching the other system make its way. And there you go. Let me leave this up. Let me see what you guys are saying. So the Gulf Stream's hot. Yes. The system has, let's look at some center stuff real quick. All right, so this is the things I look at. You can't really go wrong looking at them. Here's your 850 vorticity. This shows you where the big spin is in the atmosphere. Even though the models are initializing a little bit more to the northeast, the main vorticity of the spin is still a little bit to the south. This is the 850 level. Look at 500 level. And again, a little bit more to the north, but it's very broad rotation. So still there's no signs of extreme structure. We look at the windy map. It's a good map. It gives you an idea. And if you look at lower levels here, not 1,000, look at 850. There you go. You can see some broad 850 level spin right here. Trying to close off. Nothing, this is where it's supposed to be initialized. And there's really no clear-cut circulation down there. 700 millibars still down here. So, there's very, very weak signature of any sort of circulation right now. So as far as formation goes, that's why a PTC might be warranted, because a PTC is a potential tropical cyclone. It's because we're in that 36, 48 hour window, and the NAC needs to start issuing advisories. And guess what? We could have tropical storm warnings for Florida pop up anytime. And then, of course, as this thing goes northward, who knows? Could be, they don't know what to do. Trust me. This thing, the European, unfortunately, let's look at the Euro. I mean, the Euro, almighty Euro, right? The Euro, let's look at another version of the Euro. This is on weather models. I slowed down, Steve. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little hyper. Because things change in the tropics. Holy cow, I'm telling you what. I guess I'm glad yesterday I put out there, let's watch this one in real time, because I don't know. It just looked like it had that look like it was trying to get organized. And let's see, I'm trying to pull up the Euro map here. And who knows? All right, so here's the Euro prediction for winds. All right. This is important because this is going to show you how it evolves. Eastern weighted system, low pressure right here, developing unfortunately right on top of Freeport. At least it'll be weak, 33 knots. This is according to Euro. Starts to deepen over the Gulf Stream, 41. You can see it's starting to strengthen. It gets pretty strong hurricane right around here. Unfortunately, it runs into a blocking high pressure and turns in, and we could have it. Let me widen it out a little bit here. We'll do East Coast. Hang on. East Coast. We'll just do this guy right here. What the heck? And 10 millimeter wind. Kind of give you an idea what it looks like. And what happens? The Euro thinks high pressure and it turns it in to the East Coast. One scenario. And then you know what? Look what's happening down here. Little brother following in the footsteps. Two potential hurricanes. You know, I'm getting people email me that are doing the recovery efforts down in the Bahamas, and yes, there are models showing you that we could have a hurricane the following weekend, Friday, Saturday, over the same parts that were already hit by Dorian. That's one model run of many, but we've been seeing enough consistency that there's definitely a chance we're going to see another system next weekend. We just don't know exactly where, but something to definitely watch and monitor, especially, if you're down in the Bahamas right now, because they do not obviously want to see that. All right, so let me see what else we can look at real quick. So we got that. Let me see if I showed everything I wanted to show. Rain maps. Everybody always curious about rain maps. We'll leave that up. So, Veda, good question. I think this, as we just saw, the structure of this thing is not there yet. So the good news is it's not, again with Dorian, it had a really strong signature, spinach. This one has not. So that's good news. These things take time to really get wrapping up, and it doesn't have that. I mean, we could really see Dorian spinning when it was way out in the middle Atlantic. It always had that spin. And when they have a good core, that's when I think that's why Dorian ramped up quick. This one doesn't have that spinach yet. So that's the good news. It'll take time to develop. It's just a big blob right now. There's nothing showing up on any of the maps. ASCAP maps, windy maps, vorticity maps. There's nothing really showing any sort of strong organization right now. So that's the good news. Right now it's just a big rainy mess. I mean, let's see what the Florida flow looks like on the rains, because we can kind of see where the hell is it? There it is right there. Florida radar. There we go. I'm starting to get a little rains trickling in from the Bahamas there, from east to west. But anyway, so yeah, Dorian was definitely more organized. Karen, I believe the center could be trying to relocate farther south. I do. And that's probably why the NHC cone is wide, because the farther south it goes, the more it might be able to get into a South Florida landfall. But they really don't know. Hurricane hunters are going to go in. I feel bad for them. Yeah, Brian, good idea. Veda, yes, the high pressure is the reason that Dorian went due west, and it also the reason it stopped, because we had high pressure over Florida that made it stop. Crystal, yes, definitely, most definitely. This thing could go south and then curve up. Phyllis, it could be a hurricane, yes. Models are showing this thing is going to, if it gets over the Gulf Stream waters, we can definitely see it strengthen. Here's one intensity map on Levi's site. There's slow, none of the major models are showing it, which is good news, but Euro is, and the UK is. Those are two models. In fact, we could probably see the latest 6-hour Euro, because it's on this site. So we do have a new Euro to look at. Let's take a look. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Let's look. Shall we? All right, so we're going to look at the 3-hour Euro. Click, click, click. I know I got to click fast. Southeast U.S. Look at wind. just get an idea. Let's see what the 6-hour euro shows. This is the freshest euro, and it almost the exact same path as Dorian. It's crazy, and it stops at 90 hours. So, it's basically showing. This one just came out, but it's basically showing slow organization. This would be Saturday tomorrow, right over Freeport, but weak at least. And slow deepening, inching in. I mean, this is like deja vu, folks. This is so weird to be watching almost the exact same model. The only difference is this one isn't as strong, but the euro does show it deepening, 993, and the overnight had it deepening pretty strong here and curving back. So that's very interesting. And then of course we can look at let's look at the UK one more time, and then I'll see what you guys are chatting about. So I gotta click because I don't think the UK ran yet. We could see. No, not yet. So here you go. Current UK gets awfully close to the Carolinas. 953. So definitely the UK and Euro definitely strengthen this thing. So anyway, all right, what's going on? If it were to possibly hit the Carolinas, this could possibly be Monday, Tuesday, folks. I mean, that's what's so I feel so bad for the NHC because it's Friday. We could have tropical storm conditions on the east coast of Florida tomorrow, and that's a reality. And Sunday, we could have a hurricane off the coast of Georgia and Florida Sunday. And if the Euro, this is correct. This is the UK. Let's just say if it was correct, here's 955. That's pretty stout showing up. But the good news here, this is Monday, but it has a curve away. That's the good news. The Euro's opposite. It's saying it's going to run into high pressure, 952, 947, 945, and guess what? Turns it back into and the timing here, luckily, is a little later. So here's possibly a hurricane off the coast of Florida, according to the Euro. This is Sunday, Monday, right here. And then Tuesday, it's a little bit slower, runs into high. So you see it right here. This is a high pressure ridge. This is that timing of this high pressure. The high pressure comes along at the wrong time, and it'll kick it back into the States. And this is potential impacts back to the Outer Banks Thursday of this week. So you'd have a little more time, but Outer Banks, guess what? You could be looking at deja vu. Today's not Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. Oh my God. So you have another day. I just gave you guys a day. Yeah, I guess it is Thursday. So we have an extra day. That's good. So that's interesting. Big shifts in the models. Very curious what the NHC is going to do. Let's put it back over here because you know what? They're gonna either a fly into the hurricane and see what it looks like, or not a hurricane. They're going to fly into the system, and then or they might just pull the trigger at 11 o'clock and issue advisories because they'll issue these PTCs either around 11. I mean, I would think they'd have to do it around 11 o'clock. This is later today though, but all right. What's up? Hey, what's up, Rich? Yeah, I know Thursday's Friday. God. Yeah. Hey, I'm drinking coffee though. That's good, right? Yeah, I posted one yesterday. The other night, I put the track of Dorian, and I put September 22nd into August. I used to always get those months screwed up. You ever do the trick with the hand, like January 31, and then like every other month I think it's 31 or something? All right, hey, seriously, what kind of questions we got? So yeah, hey, listen, cool, Sandra, and look, and cool. All right, two more things. Listen, all right, so I've been uploading the videos to YouTube. All right, to my surprise, I got a lot of views. I had 3,000 yesterday. And the cool thing is, if you do have my app, the app has a YouTube. I put them all on YouTube now, so you can watch them straight on YouTube through the app. Little bonus. I don't know why it took me so many years to do it. So uh, there's yesterday's, and what I do now, which is kind of neat, is I have the title as the date and time. That way, there's no confusion on when that one was done. So I got a lot of comments, man. I got 3,000 views, so that's pretty neat. So anyway, it's on YouTube now. If you got anybody that wants to watch the drunk donkey. Hey, window app, everybody, or window map. Everybody loves Windy. That must be the most popular app in the planet, because if I had $1 for everybody that said that Windy needs your help, we should donate. I love Windy. Anyway, so when you go to Windy, it automatically defaults to the euro. Just so you know, I say that all the time, but it's not its own model. It just shows you models. So there's the euro. Sunday, 8 a.m. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? We could be looking at that Sunday. That is not 2 days from now. That's 3 days. Then if you go to GFS is sloppy. GFS has no clue what's going on. I don't know. Maybe GFS is right. Maybe this thing will never develop, and it'll just be a sloppy nothing burger, which would be great, right? Let's see what the NAM says. NAM's more of a rain model, but the euro is going to bounce around. But hey, we're only a couple days out of a window here. I mean, they say don't look at things past 10 days, but we could have a potential hurricane developing right off the coast of Florida again. This is not Dorian. This is this Sunday, this weekend. And then, unfortunately, it's predicting high pressure and a turn right back into the Outer Banks and up to Virginia next Friday. Real possibility if the high pressure lines up in the wrong spot. And so the two things you don't want. You don't want this thing camping out over the warm Gulf Stream, and you don't want it over water. That's the thing. That's why you got to watch these in real time. Common sense will tell you any low pressure system that develops over the Gulf Stream in this time of year has the potential. And but I have a feeling these models are going to be bouncing around. What I'm more concerned about long term is this other system that keeps showing up, and that'll be one to watch, because people in the Bahamas are scared, rightfully so. But there is a possibility, of another system they need to be aware of. So, and there was a piece of news, and I'm going to read comments. Check this one out. All right, so this is the Express. I don't know if it's a UK. It's home of the Daily and Sunday Express. This is the Express, the UK newspaper. This is what they posted yesterday. Hurricane warning. Florida to be directly hit by cyclone stronger than Dorian. This is their headline. This is what they're telling you that. They took the GFS run that everybody says don't do. They basically said 133 mile an hour wind will smash into western Florida in 2 weeks. This is the newspaper. A Category 4 is going to have catastrophic impact to Florida. This is why people get pissed off about height, because they took one model run. They took the GFS, which did show Florida a couple times, and they published a newspaper article. Can you believe that? And people see that, and they get scared. It gets headlines. Actually, right now, if you look at the current GFS, this is what it did last night. This is crazy. Overnight hour. This is the GFS. Showed our system. Didn't even show it anymore. It died. It killed it. And yesterday, it had to go straight up in the Atlantic. Look. This is what it showed yesterday. So where the Euro is showing this consistent track through, through the Caribbean here and curving up, the GFS, this is the GFS. This is the same model run that a day ago posted a hurricane in Tampa. That's why you can't get sold on one model run. That's what I focused a lot yesterday. Let's focus on Invest 95 first, because this is impacting now. And I do believe, this, even though it's a sloppy mess, I think it's trying to get us, the more time that it has over water, pressures are lowering, shear is lowering in the area. The shear maps are showing that. We can look at shear tendency map. And I know it's super duper big, but kind of hard to see. But right here, where I'm circling the mouse, that's the area that our system's at. Shear is lowering. This area here is expected to pretty much lower. So shear is going to lower. And you never know. So, all right, what else is going? Hey, Loretta, I appreciate that. This is a tricky one. I'm not going to guess, and I'm not going to, because everybody's wrong. Every model has been wrong so far. That's why I said yesterday, let's just watch this in real time, use some common sense. The more days this thing has over water, the more time it's going to have to strengthen. Eventually, it's showing a weakness in the ridge, and it's going to pull northward. That seems to be a trend. It was expected to move a little bit quicker. Feel that weakness go north. Now it's kind of going to hug Florida. It could bring no rain to the state if it stays off the coast for Florida, but unfortunately, it could also mean a strengthening system. So that's what we're watching. Be an interesting day today. Yeah, Ellen, you're correct. I think I just think this Bermuda high is so strong that that's why the NHC has this general flow here with this guy, because it just knows that the system's dip. I mean, a pull to the north in the middle Atlantic seems very unlikely. So that they're keeping this pattern. The long range ensembles on this little system here we can take a look at. Also see them on Weather Nerds. This is on weathermodels.com, but there you go. You can kind of see the 10-day. This is a 10-day map. And there you go. I'll put it right here. A lot of this mess up here is the new system, but if you just focus on the Atlantic, this is the 10-day map thinking, and you can see, we have some going westward into the Gulf. We have some curving up over Cuba. We have some that recurve. So that fanning out effect is the uncertainty that there's no solid run yet on any of these. But we're getting closer. Every day that goes by, we're getting closer. And it's expected to be crossing the islands this weekend. And today is not Friday, if you didn't know that. And be right here Monday, Tuesday, which would put models certainty a whole lot more believable. So don't get wrapped up, bottom line, on this orange area out in the Atlantic right now. Don't worry about this one yet. Just keep a close eye on it. Realize, hey, it is the season. This is the one we really got to watch for. If it stays northwest, it'll be sloppy, unorganized more than likely, because it's got to cross the state. If it slows down, hugs the East Coast, then definitely something to watch along the East Coast. So we're going to see a new PTC update. Rich Hall, they predicted that. Holy cow. We are in the peak. September, October is going to be very busy. Jennifer, correct. Yeah, so once the hurricane hunters can fly out there and find a center, then all these models make sense. Because right now the models are guessing where the actual center is, and they're being inputted data, and that's right here. This is this spot right here. This is what the models are being told is where the center is. And then when they input this, when they do their model run, is when they come up with spaghetti models. But if this center is incorrect, if the center is over here, all this shifts this way. If the center's up here, obviously, so a lot of uncertainty. The timing, though, is starting to show that this thing might hover around here another day or two. That's the window of opportunity for this thing to get spinning. And that makes sense. So anyway, Full moon madness. Holy cow. Yeah, we got. Sorry, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's a Facebook thing. If the connection's a little weak, sometimes I'm gonna upload this, put it on YouTube. Facebook is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So, the water temperature, Tracy. Good point. The water is a little cooler. Sea surface temperature. That's a very good point. Check this out. This is Dorian. This is weekly snapshots of sea surface temperature, and there's the wake of Dorian right here. So we got cooler anomaly. This is cooler water. Not that it's cold water. This is an anomaly map. This just shows you that the water is cooler than average. So that's left over from Dorian. The actual sea surface temperature now currently, this is the map you really more than anything worried about. This is the heat potential map. Anything that gets, anything is this hot water that's deep. That sea surface map will blend out really soon. And then the NASA map that I have right here, daily detailed water temps. This one is uploaded frequently, and you can see that shows a little cool down right here where Dorian was. But there's our Gulf Stream coming in. Gulf Stream's still hot, and that'll warm up the waters really quick for this little guy. So, all right. Let's see what else is new. That's water temp, Cuba. I think that, yes, Carlos, King Tide is finished. Christine, I don't know what time they're flying out, hurricane hunters. They usually would wait till the hurricane hunters go out till they get a good, real fix on center. But because we're in a timing window, maybe it'll be probably 2 or 5 p.m. 3:45. Brian, well, you know what, Brian, because the tropics change so quick. I'm telling you, if you don't stay on top of the tropics every hour, things change quick, and you just gotta stay with the times and see the trends, and the trends are your friends, and they do flip flop. Here's another map we can look at. This is 24 hours of satellite. You can just see it's very disorganized, but it is, it does have convection. All right, so what's cooking? Any more questions? Let me see if I get a good buzz. Hey, Brian, you're welcome. 4 p.m. Hey, thanks, Telford. I knew you'd come through, man. I do have a link on my site. I don't even read it. I'm pretty bad, but there is a button here that says Recon, and there is all the Recon data for today. There you go. That's for tomorrow. I don't know. Did they cancel it? I don't know. Haven't really been a good. Here's tomorrow's flights. All right, here we go. Let's see. Yep, Val tomorrow. Okay, that was yesterday for today. There you go. There's the times. So there you go. You can get all the info right there. Thanks, Telford. That was issued yesterday for today. So they have three flights scheduled today. Looks like yeah, they got 3. All right, Wharf. Let's take a look at the Wharf. I don't know. The Wharf is the H Wharf. We haven't looked at the H Wharf yet. All right, we can look at the H Wharf a couple places. We can look at the H Wharf on Levi's site. It is a hurricane-specific model that runs only with once a storm is designated. So we can take a look at that. Here's the H Wharf. I haven't looked at it. Here's the H Wharf, 1005 millibar, 1002. They're getting close to Miami. There you go, H Wharf crossing Florida. Here you go. This is another model run. This is Saturday, right in the middle of Florida, and this kind of takes it northward. So the H Wharf is predicting a Florida crossover over the weekend. 1001. So it could be a tropical storm crossing the state. This is Saturday night. Saturday right here. That's one model, H-Wharf. Another model we can look at is H-Mon, is not that great of a model, but there you go. There's a Coastal Hugger, and that general theme. It makes sense. It definitely does. The big question, the thing we're waiting on now, is going to be the Hurricane Center and when they pull the triggers. So at this point, nothing to worry about for sure in the short term, because this thing is not organized, doesn't show any signs of circulation. It's just a big blob. So the only time I would start to worry is if this thing hovers around 24 to 48 hours over the Bahamas, models trended off the east coast of Florida like the Euro saying in the UK, then it's going to have plenty of time over warm Gulf or Gulf Stream waters and over the Atlantic, possibly intensify. So that's when you start to worry Carolinas northward, is if this thing looks like it could strengthen and head your way. If it crosses into the Gulf, probably going to cut across the state of Florida, never have time to organize, and be mainly a rainmaker. So, and then we'll keep our eye on the other one. So, and the other one's very interesting. I think we're going to be talking about that next week. So, all right, cool. We've been an hour. Let's see. Yeah, the rain. Listen, Teresa, the rain forecast. I wouldn't cancel any plans, because of the Euro. If this thing trends to the east coast of Florida, all that rain's going to be shoved to the east side because of shear, and most systems have rain on the east side typically. Florida could be dry as a bone Saturday. Maybe not east coast, but overall, if this thing trends eastward, then Florida's going to have no rain. So don't plan, cancel any plans quite yet. This normal south stuff now, like we saw coming in off of the Atlantic right now. These are just kind of pieces of that whole blob rolling in. That's just normal stuff, but as far as out of the normal rain showers, we could potentially see nothing. And at this point, just to me, everything seems like it's trending more eastward. So I'm thinking the PTC is going to be more geared toward a north component. I can show you here. We'll do our famous drawing, my Sharpie drawing. No politics. All right, so if we had to do a PTC, this is what I think we would have. See, it was just very casually. We would have this thing like this, like that. Ooh. Maybe stretch it out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Nobody knows. I don't know. That would be your 5-day, maybe. It's a balloon. I don't know. This one's got me freaked out because it's changing. So anyway, all right. Day of politics now. We don't have a lot of politics on our site. We have the best crew, I'm telling you. We get a few haters out there like to stir the pot, but that's the way it goes. Right. All right, cool. So hey, listen, I'll be posting all day like always. We got models coming out at noontime. We'll be anxiously waiting the Hurricane Center on. Hey Whitney, what's up? Waiting on a Hurricane Center, and we'll have something that Derek, yeah. The high pressure that's coming across, there's very weak steering currents right now, and the Euro is predicting that the high pressure to the west is going to pull this thing northward, and then there's one coming across that might actually block it and shove it back into the coast. That's what but thanks, Christina. Hey, what's up, Hagen? There you go, Dale. The only thing I don't like about Trump is that he doesn't drink. He brags about that. I mean, come on. That means he'll never be a member of our Drunk Donkey Nation. Let's see what else we got. Hey, thanks, Renee. Appreciate that. Nobody should be nervous right now at all. Trust me. There's no reason to be nervous. if I was living along the East Coast, I would just be anxiously watching models like I did growing up. This is, this is the whole back to the beginnings of why I made this page, is to see all these graphics and watch the wins and watch the models, mainly spaghetti models, and majority of your models are showing this curvature back out to sea. So, there's no reason to stress over any of this stuff at all. Just got to be aware. There's no certainty with anything right now, and I wish there was. I wish a lot of you guys, when I'm certain of something, I'll go out on a limb. But right now, there's very little certainty on any of this, and it'd be irresponsible to just guess. All I'm seeing is an eastward shift to the models. Could put Florida less in play with rain this weekend, and potentially strengthen a system getting awfully close to the coast of North Florida, Georgia, Carolinas early in the week. And then the other system we got to watch. The other system still has my interest pegged because of where it's at. But again, that one doesn't even look very good on satellite right now. It doesn't have any spinach. Your global tropics hazard map here showing, this is the one we're watching in Africa. This is the wave. Then they're saying there could be another wave. Time of the year, We can look at this again. We can see. Now, see, when Dorian was being formed, this is Invest 94 dying, but, when Dorian was formed right here, we saw a really good presentation in the middle atmosphere with precipitable water map. We don't see that yet with this wave. So they take time, and that's when we knew Dorian was going to be trouble, because it had a tight core and it was structured so very well. And we saw that when Dorian was right around here at the 40, 50 degree mark. We saw it on this map. And they always say an African seed or a Cape Verde seed, meaning, coming off Africa with a tight spin, are ones to watch. And right now, the good news is at least we don't have that. So, cool beans. There it is, Whitney. You got it. Denise, all right. Yeah, we'll watch it close with you. There you go. All right. So enjoy your Friday. Inside joke. I got my professional shirt on today. Look, I have an interview with a newspaper today. I actually shaved. I figured I wore out the Drunk Donkey shirt too much. So, Mary, strength on which one? Jetstream forecast is not showing really any fronts the next few days. Another sign that this thing could see, here's the official service chart from NOAA showing our low pressure off Tampa. So this is very weird, because you got this is Sunday morning showing low pressure right off Florida. This is your surface charts from NOAA. So that's, one map. Models are saying now this. So that's what I mean. Weak. If it goes across Florida, it'll be weak. If it stays out here, it can strengthen. But there's really no steering mechanism as far as fronts coming down long term. So lots to watch. All right, Linda, I might do live. Yes, Linda, here's the deal. I guess if it, maybe I will do one live tonight. What day is today? Yeah. Today's Thursday. But not sure, Cindy. Something Biscayne Times or something. Some newspaper down in Miami. Nick, it takes a couple days, man. Like Michael was already a tropical depression storm down by the Yucatan, so it already had that core. So Michael had the core. This one doesn't. So this one's going to take time. That's a good thing. It doesn't have its time, but it has 2 days. 9/19 could be. All right, cool. Bucks tonight. Oh, that's right, Thursday night. Let's give Winston another 5 years, man. He never was good as a rookie, and he never was good. But let's just keep giving him chances. Maybe one day he'll be better. He'd probably be better off with another team. I'm not really a big Bucks fan. I'm still watching the Rays. I went to bed last night and the Rays were ahead, and I can't believe I woke up and they lost. They had an hour and a half second inning. Did anybody see that? It was crazy. Okay, cool. No, it's just a newspaper thing, Michelle. All right. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Hurricane Harbor. If you want to read some cool stuff, here's our friend Bobby. Hurricane Harbor right up here. Take a look at it. She's already got a blog on Thursday, not Friday. There you go. There's Hurricane Harbor. You can read her thoughts. She has cooler graphics than me sometimes. I had to find out where she gets them. But she always has great write-ups showing you everything. Lots of things. So there you go. She always has songs on there. Bob Marley, Bad Boys. Look at that. I can't play music because I'll get kicked off of Facebook. All right, so let's leave it with this one here. We'll take a look at it, see our big sloppy mess, see what it's doing. Trying to organize maybe. This is where the NHC, or this is where they're guesstimating the center is, where the heaviest convection is. Usually, that's what we saw with Dorian when it made a new center by the Virgin Islands. It relocated center where the heaviest convection is, but a lot of this is just being sheared off to the east, northeast. Just not seeing anything to worry about right now. But we'll watch it close. Right. So, all right. So I'm going to convert this to YouTube. You can watch it on the app, or you can watch it on the page. You can watch it. I don't know why you want to watch it again, but all right, cool. All right, so keep an eye on the tropics, everybody. Things can change quick. Watching for NHC, the National Hurricane Center, to possibly make this a potential tropical cyclone today, which would put watches and warnings up for potentially Florida's East Coast. And that'll be a big news headline. Right. All right, cool. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. I will maybe possibly be back on later. If not, I'll be updating all day. So I need to drink my coffee. I'm running out of steam. We'll see you definitely tomorrow. Peace out, Whitney. Bye. Oh, we got to do Louie. Hold on. Come here, buddy. Poor Louie. We got to end the show with Louie. Louie's sleeping. I put his bed next to me now because he gets jealous when I'm on the new thing. He's up there. There you go. There's Louie. What do you think, Louie? I bet if I hold him long enough, we can get him to fall asleep. Let's see. I'm going to hold him right here. Let's see if he falls asleep. Let's see how long it takes. All right, there he goes. We're losing him. He's my boy. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you next time.